Welcome to our new series that we're going to be doing the next 4 weeks in the month of November. We're calling it Pray Without Ceasing, a tapestry of prayer. I see a lot of times, I think, in our lives of faith as we practice, as we do these things like go to worship and spend time in the Word and pray, a lot of times we fall into the same habits, the same routines. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is sometimes something that we could be willing to explore for this reason. Think about this. When you go out to eat, if you go to your favorite restaurant, whether that's Kelly's, the Field House, somewhere else, do you get something new every time? Or do you always get the same thing? Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, well, if I get the same thing, I at least know it's good, right? Sure. But what if by getting that same item, what if you always get the wedding soup? That you're then missing out on something that could be so much better, even, or could just be a whole entire different experience for you and refresh you and bring you enjoyment in a whole different way. A lot of times in our lives of prayer, I think that's what happens to us. We spend our times praying in one way, but then we only get to experience this small little bit of what prayer is, and we miss out on this big breadth and width of all that is and can be prayer. And so, over the next 3 weeks after this week, we're going to look at 4 different ways that we can pray. Now, this is not just an exhaustive list here. These are just 4 different ways that I have found helpful, that I've thought about as I continue to seek to pray and continue to seek to pray in different ways. And so, I hope that you join us on this journey. Today, we're going to start with one type of prayer that it's cold, it's a little bit chilly outside, but I guarantee you still get up and move. I guarantee that you still are out and about. You still have to go get food. You still have to have food to eat. And so you're walking around. And that's the first type of prayer that we're talking about today, a walking prayer. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about praying while walking. That is kind of the idea. But I'd like you to picture yourself on a street with a sidewalk. Hard to know. I know there's not a lot of sidewalks in rural PA, but imagine that you're on a sidewalk. And as you're walking down the road, down that sidewalk, you see a home. And so you stop. You pray for the people in that home. You don't know who they are. You don't know what's going on in their lives, but God does. And so you stop and pray for them. After that, you keep walking down that sidewalk, and then you see a business. Whether it's the lawn care place at the corner here stands, or whether it's a doctor's office, a bank, whatever it is, you stop and you pray for that business. That God would bless the people who work there, protect them as they work, that He would give to people what they need by the services that this business is providing. Then maybe you keep walking down the sidewalk even more and you see someone outside. Maybe you're even bold enough to go and ask them what they might need prayer for too. Or at least you just stop and say, God, watch over that person as they till the ground, or as they rake the leaves, or as they pick up dog poop, whatever it is. Now, this sort of prayer is beneficial for us because it kind of breaks our habit of who we should pray for. Because just like we found in our congregational journey that we've been on the last 6 weeks, that sometimes there are people that we should be praying for that we don't even think about, or we don't even realize even. And so this helps break our habits, break our molds, and gets us to pray for more people. And so as we walk down the street, or as you walk on the trail, wherever it is that you're out and about, as you stop and pray for someone that you see or something, I guarantee that you probably haven't, and you probably wouldn't have prayed for that person. And so, whether this looks like for you, literally setting aside a time saying, well, on Friday at 4 o'clock, I'm going to head out with my spouse, with our kids, and we're going to do a prayer walk in our neighborhood. We're going to look at the pretty trees that are still left, or we'll just look at the houses and pray for our neighbors. Or whether that looks like for you maybe going into the store that next grocery run, or that next time you go out to eat, and you pray for the place that you're about to go into. You pray for the servers there. You pray for the food that the other people are eating, for the conversations they're having. It's a beautiful way to represent what we means when Paul says to pray without ceasing. That we can pray not just for our families, not just for our loved ones, not just for the typical things, but for everything. Even the houses full of people that we don't even know, because our God knows them. He's created them, and he ultimately wants to bring them into his family. And so I challenge you to do this. By the time we meet together again next week, I challenge you to do a prayer walk. So spend some time doing one of these things and pray for somebody. And as you do that, I invite you to leave a comment below so that you can share your experience with other people so that we can hear what it was like for you. So make sure that you like the video and subscribe to our channel. It helps other people find it, but it also helps make sure that you don't miss another one of these. So God be with you this day as you continue to learn, as you continue to grow what it means to pray and what it means to maybe walk outside and pray for those people, for those buildings, for the things around you.